1, 2, 3, 4.
Chant down Babylon kingdom, team make me chant down Vatican now. Bang bling bling, chant down Babylon kingdom, team make me chant down Vatican now. Chant down Babylon kingdom, team make me chant down Vatican now. Bang bling bling, chant down Babylon kingdom, team make me chant down Vatican now.
What up, y'all? It's Babylon 5 Podcast. It's your boy, Jermaine Event. I don't know if it's today different. I was doing the intro, and I was like, why does my voice sound so deep right now? Is my voice changing? Is my voice changing? Is it changing right here for you people? Are you guys hearing it? I'm hearing it. I don't know if, I'm not stuffy, thanks to that nasal spray, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not stuffy. I don't know what's going on, but, I don't know, my voice just sounds a lot deeper right now. What's going on? I mean, what's going on with you guys? Yeah, what's going on with you guys? How's your week been? How has your week been? I hope your week's been phenomenal. I hope your year's been great. If it can, I hope it is a lot better than however 2020 treated you, that dirty motherfucker 2020. That was a mad dog 2020, I'll tell you that much. This is episode 102, calling this bad boy Will Eyelash. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 102, Will Eyelash. I was just, the other day, my wife, my lovely, lovely wife and I, where were we going? Where were we going? I think we were going to go get some food somewhere, but we were headed somewhere yesterday. Pretty sure, Saturday. Where the fuck did we go? I'm blanking. We went somewhere, but on the way there, where did we go? Sweet Diner. We went to go grab some food from Sweet Diner, and on the way there, I fucking put that Billie Eyelash on, literally, because, on my title, it was just, new albums, and I seen that Isaiah Rashad had a new album drop, and I was like, oh, shit, I gotta check that out, and I haven't listened to the album yet, but I played one song off of it. It's a song he has with SZA and Black on it, and I was like, that's probably gonna be the smoothest song I ever heard right there, so let's put that on real quick. So I heard that song, and then I saw, the right under Isaiah Rashad for me, or right next to it, was Billie Eyelash. So I was, jokingly to myself, let's just put this Billie Eyelash on, thinking we'd both have a good laugh. But my nigga, that Billie Eyelash came on, I'm getting older. I was like, yo, this shit fire. This is emo. It's right up my alley. Oh, shit. Why ain't nobody tell me Billie Eilish was dope? I'm getting older. Next song, come on. I ain't changed my number, nigga. I just changed the motherfuckers I replied to. I was like, goddamn. That's a vibe right there. Why ain't nobody tell me Billie Eilish was dope? That's a whole fucking vibe right there. I ain't changed my number. I just changed the niggas I replied to. I was fucking with that new Billie Eilish album, if you don't understand here. It's called Happier Than Ever. I've never listened to Billie Eilish before, you know? The only Billie Eilish I heard one song, Cause here's my stance. I think this song's called Bad Guy. I thought it was called Bad. My wife was like, no, it's called Bad Guy. But I'm not a fan. Well, I wasn't until recently. This is my thing. I remember I saw one day about a posting about she was maybe 15 or some shit, 16, with 3 platinum albums, and I was like, bullshit. That's a plant. I didn't need to hear anything. I didn't need to read anything else. I just saw that beginning. And I was like, get this nonsense out of here. Who thinks that's a real person? That's not a real person. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought right away. Like, Usher was just cruising the internet at 3 o'clock in the morning and stumbled upon this young boy singing, and now we have Justin Bieber. That's the fucking story of Justin Bieber. Are you fucking crazy? That's not a real person. That's not a real person. It's not how it happened. These are plants. They put them there with this little humble story for you. For you. They might even be a lot older than they appear as Justin Bieber or Lord or Billie fucking Eyelash. They might even be a little older when they rebrand themselves as this new person. This amazing fucking superstar with like 3 platinum albums before you're 17. That doesn't happen. How many 17-year-olds do you know personally with platinum records? Ask yourself that question. How many 30-year-olds do you know with platinum records? Ask yourself how many people you fucking know. I know one guy with a platinum record. I know one guy. I don't really know him. Like, if I see him around, I know, like, we know who we are. I might give him the nod. But I actually don't even remember his stage name. We're like Facebook friends. His name's like, I think it's like Michael Serta. He did a beat on Kanye's album, that gospel album, that went platinum. So I know someone with a platinum record. And to admit it here kind of defeats my whole rant there. But I had to be honest that I am aware of someone with a platinum record, you know. But just understand that it's rare, okay? So if you looked at that story of Billie Eyelash, you heard that story, if you saw this child, you know, when I saw this, they were like, oh, she's got singles with Lil Jon, this nigga, that nigga. I was like, no, that's not how that happens. How many 15-year-olds do you know? How many 30-year-olds do you know with them kind of features? Nigga, Lil Jon? Lil Jon? You could probably afford the East Side Boys. I bet right now I could get a verse from the East Side Boys. But not Lil Jon. Not Lil Jon. So, how many 15-year-olds? I mean, I guess white people be having money, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, white people be having money. So what I'm saying by white people be having money, what I'm saying is that if you could have like the financial backing, you could make a Rebecca Black or somebody with decent talent, take them to the right studios and really back that shit. You know what I'm saying? You yourself could have an industry plant. Because white people be having money. You know what I'm saying? So, like, maybe she could be organic. Maybe her parents could have just paid for them features. But I fucking doubt it. I fucking doubt it. How many... My point, ladies and gentlemen, I digress, is that I fucks with this new Billie Eyelash album, Happier Than Ever. It's got a lot of vibes on there. Billy Bossa Nova. I didn't change my number. Happier Than Ever, this track, like, the album's named after It's pretty good. I mean, she's clearly an industry plant, but she's fucking dope. So, shout out to Billie Eyelash. And I'm going to give you guys the social medias. If you want to follow this podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babylon5Pod. You can follow my personal account at My Name's Jermaine. You can email this podcast at Babylon5podcast@gmail.com. You can follow this podcast at babylon5.podbean.com. You can listen to this podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, pretty much anywhere podcasts stream. And if you guys are on Xbox, go ahead and add me. My gamer tag is SaucedBoss414. If you're on Twitch, go ahead and add me at twitch.tv/Babylon5Pod. I've been, gaming up on there lately. If you guys follow me, you'll see playing a lot of... Oh, what was I playing? I was going to say Civilization, but no, I've been playing Skyrim lately. I started a new character on Skyrim. When the Bucks won a championship, I started a a congratulatory new character in Skyrim. So, named Bango. Bango the Wood Elf. So, shout out to Bango. Shout out to the Bucks. So, yeah, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Babylon5. I'm not, I don't have my microphone on there because, I don't know. I'm not talking to anybody else there, you know what I'm saying? I'm streaming on Twitch. And the best you're going to get probably out of audio is just me breathing heavy. You know what I'm saying? And what if, a giant is chasing me and all of a sudden y'all just start hearing me breathing heavy. And y'all is this nigga really, worried about his character or some shit? That's the best case scenario that y'all going to get out of that audio is me just heavy breathing. So... I don't think that's necessary at this point. Maybe for certain games. See, that's what I'm saying. If I do I'm scared, ladies and gentlemen. I'm scared to do an online game of Civilization. I'm scared that niggas will somehow attack me. And I'm not prepared. That happens with the higher difficulties. Usually I'm my guys have barely been able to do anything. I've barely been able to build anything, learn anything. And all of a sudden, this guy's got fucking tanks. I got one warrior trying to build a sling, a fucking guy with a fucking rock and a fucking rope. Trying to build those guys to defend this fucking place. Meanwhile, this guy's civilization has developed to the point where they have fucking tanks. They have fucking tanks over there. And I haven't even learned the technology to build fucking walls. My point is, when I play that game at a higher difficulty, it seems like CPU, I don't know, man, they do some way to have every fucking possible way to I don't know, man, put your resources here so that this happens immediately and then switch it back here. Everything's happening perfectly for them where they just develop at speeds that I don't even comprehend how it's happening. I'll put all my resources to science, build all these buildings towards science, and yet it will have no effect compared to them. They'll be killing my shit. But I digress. If you guys want to buy some merchandise, go to teespring.com/stores/BOFpod-shop. I'm scared, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to get back on that. But I gotta play a game against real people and show these people what my level of skill is like in a game of Civilization, or just see how trash I am. Usually when I play UFC online, I get murked. I be like, yo, I'm a beast. Then I go online what the fuck just happened there? What just happened? Like, how are we playing the same? Like, did they switch the controls on me? What happened? I was dominating cats before. Dominating people in my neighborhood. Anybody that comes over and picks up the sticks, I'm dominating. Go online, and it seems like I've never played the game before. What the fuck? I'm just scared, ladies and gentlemen. I'm scared. You guys can support the podcast in general for just $1. Join the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Babylon5Pod. You'll get this episode as soon as it's finished. Sunday, as soon as I wrap it, I upload it. As soon as I wrap it, I put it right in the Patreon. And, yeah, you get it early. Get early access, and you'll get some exclusives. When Still Bitter's finished, you guys will get finished Still Bitter. Shit, I can upload some mixes. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I will. So if you're on the Patreon, you can hear some early mixes of Still Bitter. Sans the feature verse. Got a great feature coming up for you people on this album here, on this project here. How many tracks does an album have to have? I don't know. I'll decide. Not lastly. If you guys want to join my Discord, it's at Babylon5Pod. And if you guys are on TikTok, follow me at Babylon5 Podcast. Speaking of Discord, I went on this fucking battle. I sometimes I'll be looking at these beat battles. They'll post it on Discords. If you join certain Discords, it'll post like beat battles. I make beats, y'all see. I was saying to my guy, Ethan, yesterday, and I'm gonna get into that, but he was saying he didn't know that I was making all these beats that I'm posting on like Instagram or especially SoundCloud. And I was like, well, yeah, like, why else would I be posting them? And he's like, well, you didn't put, like, produced by you. Like, you just posted it. And I was like, I guess, like, I just assume niggas would just assume that I'm making these beats. I'm not gonna just post beats. Like, nah, I dedicated myself to making these beats, learning how to do it. These are my beats. So they'll post in these beat battles, like, yo, you gotta be a member, you gotta have a Splice membership, and it'll be like these 5 samples or whatever. It could be just like a snare, like the sound of a snare, then like boom, like a bass, like just like an 808, just boom, just like one, and then you gotta like just rework everything. You gotta flip it, like it'll be like 5 sounds that you have to use. Then you have to flip it, but then you can also use like your own sound. You can use other shit outside of those 5, but you have to use those 5. Which I did. I used all 5. And then I threw in some more shit. And then, like, I don't know. The other day I had, like, fucking, like, hundreds of, like, no, it was like 100 plays. I'm exaggerating. It was like over 100 plays on this track. And I was like, that's weird, because it's private. And then I was like, oh yeah, I had got a notification when I was at work that said, like, they were about to, like, judge the beats live or whatever on Twitch. But I was at work, as I'm saying. And then I'm like, yo, I didn't see anything about the winner. And then I had to, like, go and try to find the original Discord page with the thing. And I went in there, and it had, like, the winners. It had the rankings. And I'm just looking for myself. And I'm like, I go all the way. And then it's, like, the list of people who are disqualified. And I'm on that list. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? Why am I disqualified? I used all 5 sounds. I wonder, like, I don't understand. Because I made a loop for the 808 that was in there. The beat was fire, alright? Beat was fire. I made it public on my SoundCloud at this point. I think yesterday I made it public because it's called Passions. But the beat's fire. So I was like, yo, this doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why. I really don't understand why I was disqualified. But then, like, I got, like, hit up with this, like, it was like a brain bot on Discord, like, hello, welcome, please accept to join this Discord or whatever, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I'm already a part of this Discord. I'm already, like, I got, what is this? I'm subscribed. I got a subscription. I'm in there. All right, I'm subscribed. I'm in there. I've done all the steps. So I don't understand, but, you know, we'll see. I'm about to kill these battles. Because that beat was fire. That beat was fire. Speaking of fire beats, so yesterday, my boy Ethan, a.k.a. Spook E, played his first show here in Milwaukee at Quarters. He was DJing. I thought, honestly, because I didn't listen to the music beforehand, but I knew he was performing, so I'm like, yo, I'm going. And I thought he was rapping because back in the day he was like more into the Juggalo scene, like ICP and all that strange music. And I'm pretty sure he was doing horrorcore rap. Like he was doing horrorcore rap. So I thought that's what the show was gonna be. But it was just like EDM, more like, you know, DJ sets, but it was pretty cool because it was like, I don't know, what is it, like, it was like satanic, or not really like necessarily like satanic. There was the one dude there performing called Satanic Hispanic, and you know what I'm saying, so he's satanic, definitely. But it was like EDM shows. Everybody was like wearing like, you know, dark grunge clothes. I was a fan of just the showmanship of it all. Like the one guy was like wearing a face mask as he's dancing around doing like a gas mask. He's wearing a gas mask as he's performing. That would look pretty cool. And then the headliner, I'm blanking on his stage name. Pretty cool dude. His fucking he had this, like, everybody had their own gear, man. Like, he was just, like, I don't know, it was, like, some kind of hood. Like, he was, like, the executioner or some shit, you know? And then he had, like, you know, how the emo kids back in the day would wear, like, spikes. They wear those things with, like, the spikes on them. You probably find it, like, Spencer's and shit. He was wearing all that shit, you know? I like the showmanship of it all. As a person who grew up watching, like, professional wrestling, like, and then I ultimately ended up getting into a pretty passionate WWE conversation at the bar, because that's what happens. That's what happens when you release Bray Wyatt on a Saturday. That's what happens, okay? So, you know, I got into a real passionate WWE conversation, but that whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, I was thinking, like, everybody here watches WWE. Because this is the most WWE shit here. Like, super, like, I don't know, the beats were cool. Like, but back to Ethan, like, his beats were super fire. Yeah, the bass in the song, his music was pretty crazy. Like, she was knocking them 808s was fucking crazy. Yeah, the 808s was crazy. So, it was a dope show. He said it was his first show. Which it didn't seem like it was his first show. He was up there dancing around, doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He was having fun. If he's having fun, we're having fun. That's the point of it all. You guys know how I've hated on Kendrick Lamar. I'm always like, yo, I'll never pay to see Kendrick Lamar live again. And it's because the times that I've seen him, he doesn't really give me the appearance of him having fun up there. He gives me the appearance of he's dialing it in. He's ready to get out of there. First time I saw him, half of the show, he sat in a chair. Fuck that. I had a piece of paper that told me if I buy 2 drinks, I can get into this concert. So I'm going to need you to get out of that chair, sir. Because I bought 2 sodas because I wasn't drinking alcohol at that time. So this $8, sir, tells me you need to get out of that chair. Get the fuck out of that chair. And then I saw him, at South by Southwest. Who the fuck? I think I was listening to a story with Lupe Fiasco. I'm about to touch on him next too. And he was talking about running into like Kendrick in his camp or whatever, or running into somebody in his camp back when Kendrick was performing at South by Southwest on the last day. Like when he explained it, it was like, dude, I was there that day. The story that Lupe was telling about this Kendrick concert, I was like, fuck, I was at that concert. That's the day I shook up with Waka Flocka. I was at that concert. I was like, damn, on what? Lupe was there? I didn't know. You didn't even know it. And, so yeah, that was interesting. But, so at that show, though, Kendrick, like, he let the crowd, he would start saying, he'd be like, all my life, and then just put his fucking fist out with the mic. He put the mic out to the crowd and just let everybody rap the rest of the verse. And everybody at this point is drunk. Half of us had to go to the bathroom foolishly and didn't want to risk getting arrested for peeing in the tent. And you might say, why would somebody risk getting arrested and peeing in the tent? Because what some of us figured out, I'm talking about your boy Jermaine Event here, found out, was once you left that tent to go to the bathroom after fucking Trinidad James started, they weren't letting anybody in until Kendrick Lamar started. So it was like 2 other artists, I think. At least 1 other artist before, like Trinidad was the opener. And I couldn't get back in until Kendrick started. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So I'm in there. Everybody's drunk. We're hyped. We're ready to go. Everybody's singing, dancing, doing their thing. Half the people left foolishly and couldn't get back in. At the, what's the shit called? Viceland. At the Viceland show. The Vice show. So by the time we get in, everybody's fucking hyped. They're ready to go. They want more alcohol. Because, like, people couldn't leave their spot in the line. They were, like, let people in. Like, some people, that's what I'm saying, was at capacity. So it's like, 2 people just left to go to the bathroom foolishly thinking they could get back in. So then they let 2 more people in. It was that kind of game. And then, but people were spreading word like, yo, don't leave or you can't get back in. So that's when people started peeing in the tent. It was reckless. It's getting reckless. So for most of that show, Kendrick is just letting the crowd rap for him. And then for like 20 minutes, he had this person called, this Indian guy named Dead Cousin. And the guy was just drunk and dancing. And he's like, go, Dead Cousin, go. Like, just having the crowd watch this dude dance. And it's like, I'm like, you guys are having fun right now? Because I came to see Kendrick Lamar. He just dropped Good Kid, Mad City. I thought we were going to get a great performance. We got clear album of the year right there. And he's not performing. He's not performing. And he's wearing the same outfit from the Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe video. He wore that outfit for the next 5 years. I just... Ethan looked like he was having fun up there. So I was having fun. Kendrick didn't look like he was having fun up there. So I wasn't having fun. But shout out to my boy Ethan. Shout out to Spooky for a great first show, man. It was good performance, you know. Good performance. I'm missing the stage. I haven't really been out to a bar or any shows. This first show I've been to in a long time. First show I've been to in a very long time. And I missed it, you know. Definitely missed live shows. So gotta get more of that in my life here, but that was a cool one. I like Quarters. It's a good venue. You know. I felt like I was dressed like fucking preppy. Dressed like a preppy ass dad. While everybody else was dressed kind of grunge. And it's like, whatever. Whatever, nigga. I'ma do me, player. We going to Shabooms, my nigga. Shout out to Ethan. But as I touched on, Lupe Fiasco versus Royce da 5'9", ladies and gentlemen. See, I don't really touch on hip-hop too often here. I don't. And that's because, I don't know, man. Hip-hop is just too theatrical sometimes for me. And there's never really any kind of substance. Nobody can even really... Like, the people who could really rap don't even, like... They ain't gonna say each other's names. You ain't gonna come at him, because it's just usually... There's that respect among spitters where they don't say each other's names. But now we've gotten into a world where podcasting and going live and... Like, they had that fucking app called Clubhouse, and people are just into that whole concept of having these conversations with other quote-unquote like-minded individuals. So what's born out of that, the Lupe Fiasco and Royce da 5'9" podcast. These two gentlemen had never met, apparently. Never met. All they knew about each other were that they were both rappers. Each with different levels of success. If as I'm saying, Lupe Fiasco, I'm sure you guys know who that is, but you guys probably might not be too familiar with Royce da 5'9". But you know, I know Royce because I'm a fucking Eminem stan. You know, I'm a Lupe stan. So, you know, they're two rappers with different level of success, but they're both considered, you know, real rappers. Real rappers. And Royce is more so considered the battle rapper. He came up in the same area, same place as Eminem, where it's just what you did in Detroit at the shop. You battled people. I was listening to a story just earlier. This guy was talking, Marv One was talking about how when they were filming 8 Mile, and all the extras in 8 Mile were local rappers, and Eminem at one point was just like, yo, why is nobody challenging me? Like, people were battling each other, and he was like, why is no one challenging me? And he was like, what are you talking about? You're Eminem. And he's like, so? Like, people were, like, battling, like, for, like, $100 just out and about, like, while they were filming this. And M, just, like, out of competition, wanted to battle everybody. And they're like, yo, you're gonna battle this guy who's just, like, you're the star here, you're a superstar. And you want to battle this guy that's trying to battle for $100? But that's just who he is, like, and that's where Royce is from, apparently. But Royce put out a fucking So they never met each other, Lupe and Royce, and apparently their relationship like kind of digressed from views on like vaccines, religion, all kinds of shit. But where it really like imploded is when they were talking about like being the best rapper, or whatever the fuck that means. It's not a real thing. They're talking about being the best rapper, and Royce was trying to say that like you got to check all these boxes, and this person and that person doesn't check all these boxes, and he's claiming that Lupe doesn't check all these boxes. But Lupe is like, dude, I'm a better rapper than you, and I'm way more successful than you. So like, how do you check the boxes, but I don't check the boxes when I'm more successful than you? And like, that turned into a lot of tough talk. And nah, man, it was a lot of tough talk for a long time now. I'm watching like old videos of them talking about just on their podcast, just having a conversation. Like Lupe's like cleaning guns, and I felt like Royce was like very intimidated by this. Like Lupe is just like on this video, like this live stream they're doing, and he's just like cleaning his guns. He's like, man, why you gotta act like a Chicago nigga, man? Man, put your guns away, man. Why you out here with these guns? And he's like, dude, I own firearms. I'm cleaning my weapons. Like, do you have a problem with that? Like, it was just like, I don't know, there was a lot of tension. And apparently it all stemmed from like vaccine talk and all kinds of shit, you know. And then it turned into like, who's the better rapper? Which, of course, it's gonna turn into that. That's what we here for. It's going to turn into who's the better rapper. And then Royce puts out a diss because these guys argued with each other, got into a fight. Like, oh, it's fucking on. Royce put out a diss track, which I thought was pretty whack. But, like, Joe Budden was like, I think Royce won because if we're arguing about who's the better rapper, and then I put out a diss where I'm just displaying how much, like, where I'm just displaying my level of skill, but I'm not really coming at you. I still displayed my level of skill and showed that I'm the better rapper, so this person wins. I'm like, that's stupid. That's stupid. Because Lupe came out there like ripping this man apart. Real rap. Murdered this man. Then you had to do Mickey Fax. I'm not really familiar with Mickey Fax too much. But he came in too and dissed him. You got Lupe. Man, it's getting deep, you know. It's I think Roy said he's not going to respond to Lupe, which I think is some sucker shit. Cause he just got ripped apart. He tried to say he was a better rapper, and he just got sliced the fuck up by Lupe. He got sliced up. So, like, you gotta respond. And it's gotta be the hardest shit you ever written. Niggas gotta be like, is that Royce? Is that Royce? That's what niggas gotta be like when they hear that response. It's gotta be the hardest shit you've ever that's ever come out of you. Pause. It's gotta be the hardest shit. Is that Royce? That's what that shit's gotta cause. Oh, is that Royce? That Royce on that? That shit gotta be cold, my nigga. If not, you lose. Lupe murdered this man. Lupe murder. If y'all ain't heard it, check out Lupe Fiasco, Steve Jobs. I think Royce's track was called Silence of the Lambda, which I thought was pretty lame. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on Royce, but as I said, I'm admittedly a fucking Lupe stan. I'm already like I'm a huge M fan, and yes, Royce is a friend. But I'm a huge Lupe stan. And those loyalties lie where they lie, ladies and gentlemen. They lie where they lie. Kanye West, ladies and gentlemen, Kanye West is apparently living in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium where he held his listening party recently until he finishes the album Donda. Donda is now expected to be released on August 6th. It was previously announced that it would be released, 2 weeks ago? A week ago, 2 weeks ago. And then it was like, nope, it's not coming out. Nobody said anything. It just didn't come out. And now it says Kanye's living at the stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, until he finishes the album. So fucking finish it, my guy. I hope he finishes it, because niggas excited for this Kanye. You know, I'm excited for the new Kanye. I mean, I miss the old Kanye, but I'll take some new yay every time you give it to me. You know what I'm saying? I'll take some new yay every time you offer it to me. The lines are just too potent. The lines of yay are just too potent. Yeah, I miss the old yay, but I'll take some new yay. I'll settle for some new yay. Next week, if you guys want to know where to find me, if you're trying to murder me, I will be going to see Joe Rogan's coming to town. I didn't think this would happen. I didn't think it would happen. I think I mentioned it here. I didn't think it would happen. I figured Joe Rogan, being someone with similar interests to myself, we both want to watch UFC this upcoming Saturday. Heavyweight championship fight between Derek Lewis and Ciryl Gane. We both want to watch that fight. So I was like, this ain't happening. This ain't happening. He's the commentator. But apparently, it's happening. He's coming to Milwaukee to the Fiserv Forum. And I'm excited, you know? This would be like, I'm not sure who's opening for him. I haven't seen much information on that. It'd be dope if they surprised that they hit us with some Dave Chappelle. That'd be dope. Only because I've seen, Dave was here for the finals. But then I saw, if you look at Joe Rogan's dates, some of the dates have with Dave Chappelle on it. So what if he just, surprises us with some Dave Chappelle? That'd be dope. I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. But I'd love it. You know, we were supposed to go see him in 2020, I believe. Yeah, he was supposed to be here in 2020, but that was obviously canceled. Everything was canceled. So now we're going to miss UFC 265. But we could always watch it later, you know. But yeah, I'm curious who the openers are going to be. I'd love some Joe List or something in there. I doubt it. I fucking doubt it, but I'd love it. I'd fucking love it. But we'll see. So I'm not going to watch UFC 265 live, or I'll probably see some of it live. And I saw the earlier fights of UFC Vegas 33, but then I, had to watch the replays of most of it when I got home from the bar, from seeing Ethan perform. But UFC Vegas 33, headlined by Sean Strickland versus Uriah Hall. Just the 5-round domination by Sean Strickland. My pick. As I said, Uriah just never Well, he's a slow starter, notorious slow starter. But when I looked at the like UFC stats, and I look at the volume of how many strikes Strickland usually lands per minute, it was like, dude, if you're gonna let this man, and I look at how many strikes Uriah absorbs per minute on average, it's like, yo, it's not gonna be too good if you're letting this man touch you up like that early on. Since he's such a slow, it's like he just lets himself get beat up. I think he was saying he like wants to like get angry, right? He lets himself get hit a bit so he can get angry. And I'm looking at the numbers of like how many strikes Strickland lands, and it's like he's a volume puncher. He's gonna pepper this man up. So I went with Strickland, and Strickland went in there and did the fucking job, man. It really, I'm like watching it with my wife. I'm like, look at this man's face. He don't want to be in there. It was clear that Uriah did not want to be in there. But I like the third round. He looked done, in my personal opinion. So shout out to Sean Strickland. He looks like the real deal coming in there against Uriah Hall. But as I'm saying, man, for the first two rounds, I believe, of Uriah Hall versus Anderson Silva looked like he was going to win that fight. And then Uriah Hall decided to fight back and ended up finishing Anderson Silva. But Anderson looked great when Uriah just didn't care to fight back, as he does so often. Bellator this weekend, real interesting. You had AJ McKee versus Patricio Pitbull, the champ over in Bellator, 145, 155-pound champion. No more. He has been defeated via submission. AJ McKee defeats Patricio Pitbull in the very first round via standing guillotine. I don't know. I didn't really understand the stoppage because Patricio wasn't unconscious. He got rocked with a head kick. And then McKee wrapped up that standing guillotine, put some torque on it. But the ref just came in and stopped the fight. And then, like, as soon as, like, AJ McKee let go of the choke, Patricio was, like, awake. He's there. You know what I'm saying? He might look a little dazed, but he just got hit with a head kick. And that rocked him. We saw it. We just saw it happen. And then he put a choke on him. And then he never tapped, as far as I saw. And the ref came in and stopped it. So I didn't understand that part of it all. Why the ref stopped it at that point. I think he should have at least choked him unconscious. Because there was no tap. And he wasn't unconscious. So, like, my question is, where was the submission? Like, literally, did he submit? I don't think so. I didn't see it. So they're probably going to have to run that back. I saw Patricio was calling for them to fight at 155. Maybe making 145 at his age. He's a little older. I think he's like 35, maybe older. Maybe it's a little harder for him at this point. So he wants to fight at 155. Which would give McKee the chance to potentially be champ. Honestly, I think he should do that. McKee would, in 2 fights, be champ. That'd be pretty great turn of events for AJ McKee. Next week we have, or this week, ladies and gentlemen, whatever. Whenever you're hearing this, last week, nigga, I don't know. We got UFC 265, Derek Lewis versus Ciryl Gane. I don't know why I said his name Cyril, but it's Ciryl Gane for the interim Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, as I've mentioned here, when it was announced, my pick is Gane. I'm going Ciryl Gane to become the interim heavyweight champion. But even with that said, I think there's a very clear path to victory for Derrick Lewis. He's got thunder in them hands. One punch will end it. We've seen it put many to sleep. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it put many tannies. He done put niggas to sleep. So, many tannies. Fucking shout out to Pootie Tang. So, what we know is that Derrick Lewis simply has to just land one punch. I think Gane's footwork, his different level of attacks, his different kind of attacks, I think he's going to try to do more grappling in this one. I think he's going to try to get it to the ground a little more. And I think he has like trips and shit. So I think the trips will be the kind of takedowns that he's getting on Derrick Lewis here, rather than dangerously shooting for double legs. Double doubles. What's a double? That's basketball terms. Like, instead of shooting for your double leg, single leg, or whatever, putting yourself in that vulnerable position, like how Curtis Blades got knocked out. You're going to have to get in there with some strikes, get in there and then fucking get your hip on him and trip him. But to go down there and reach for the legs and expose the head to that uppercut, I don't agree with that. I think that's how to get knocked the fuck out by Derrick Lewis 101. I think that's what that is. So I'm going Ciryl Gane to become new, setting up the fight that I want to see with his former teammate, Francis Ngannou, which is, I was thinking, like, that's kind of fucked up. Because you're just not going to give Stipe a rematch. I didn't know that they were for real just not going to give Stipe a rematch, but I guess they're not going to give Stipe a rematch. Like, what is, because, like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who wins. Derrick wins, Gane wins. Whoever wins this fight is going to fight Ngannou next. So it's crazy that, like, this isn't, like, Derrick Lewis versus Stipe. You know what I'm saying? Or Stipe versus Gane. This is Gane versus Lewis, and Stipe is just off to the side with no dance partner. It makes no sense. He's talking about fighting for one championship. I don't advise it. I deleted that app off my phone. Then you got Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz. I'm going Jose Aldo. That legend will still kick your ass. Fight I'm very interested in. You got Michael Chiesa versus Vicente Luque. Definitely going Chiesa there. Luque can strike. As we know, he's got power. And I think he's a much better striker than Chiesa, I would say. I think he's much more powerful. But I think Chiesa will be able to use his length to stay behind the jab. He's definitely going to be able to, he's going to mix in the grappling. That's what he's known for. He's going to do the jiu-jitsu to wear Luque out on the ground. I see it going just the way we see most of Chiesa's fights going these days, where he's just going to get him to the ground, wear him out, beat him up, and win this fight. I'm going Michael Chiesa to beat Vicente Luque. Then you got Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill. I think that's going to be a great fight there. Man, I don't know, man. Tisha Torres is that's a tough fight there. I'm not saying Angela Hill can't win the fight. Angela Hill herself has had some slow starts. You know what I'm saying? So it depends, like, which Angela is going to show up. Which Angie is finna show up? That's the question. Which Angie is showing up that night? But, I don't know. I'm rooting for Angela Hill. But I think Tisha Torres is going to win it, so I'm torn. I want Angela Hill to win, but who knows? Another interesting fight, Bobby Green versus Rafael Fiziev. Fiziev, he does the, people throw head kicks at him, and then he, like, leans all the way back like the Matrix. He's like a Muay Thai instructor. He's just a beast striker, and he's just known for doing that lean back Matrix shit. Bobby Green, just seasoned veteran, pretty good boxing. Like, he's just a real good. That's gonna be a good fight. That's gonna be a good fight. Then you got Manel Cape versus Ode Osborne out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ode Osborne. Yeah. So you got Manel Cap versus Ode Osborne. Manel Cap, he came into the UFC with all this hype on him, being this, like, prospect from other promotions, like, real good kickboxer. I think he was fighting in a promotion called, like, Risen. And then he lost the first two fights here. First fight, he was, like, kind of, like just doing a lot of, like, mocking, taunting. He's doing a lot of taunting, not a lot of fighting. And he was, like, not winning the fight. And it was like, why is he doing all this fucking taunting? It was really weird. He lost that fight. Second fight, he was doing a little more taunting. He's doing a little less taunting, but still taunting. Just didn't really seem to fight with that urgency, and he lost. So, he's probably going to come out here like a fucking cornered animal, cornered dog, you know, but hopefully Ode can fucking bring it. I think Ode is a little more well-rounded, but I think, like, as a fighter, his skill set is a little more well-rounded, but I think, like, Manel has more experience fighting higher-level competition than Ode Osborne. So, as I said with the Angela Hill, Tisha Torres thing, I'm rooting for Ode Osborne, but I think Manel Cape will win this fight. That's my pick. I think that's a pretty interesting fight. And I'm going to give you guys social medias. If you want to follow this podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babylon5Pod. You can follow my personal account at My Name's Jermaine. You can email this podcast at Babylon5podcast@gmail.com. You can follow this podcast at Babylon5.podbean.com. You can listen to this podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, pretty much anywhere podcasts stream. And if you guys are on Xbox, go ahead and add me. My gamer tag is SauceTheBoss414. If you guys are on Twitch, add me at twitch.tv/Babylon5. You can buy some merch at teespring.com/store/BOFpod-shop. And don't just be my Negro, be my patron. Be my patron. Go to patreon.com. Join the patreon.com/Babylon5pod. Just for just $1, you can be a patron. Lastly, if you guys are on Discord, add me at Babylon5Pod. And if you guys are on TikTok, add me at Babylon5Podcast. This is episode 102, Will Eyelash. I am your boy, Jermaine Event. Thank you guys for being here with me one more week as I babble and babble. Appreciate you guys for living this life with me, you know, getting this little slice of life, if you will. And I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you when I see you. I'll holla.
Chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang the ling bling chant down Babylon kingdom. Natty make we chant down Vatican now. Chant down Babylon kingdom. Natty make we chant down Vatican now. Bang the ling bling chant down Babylon kingdom. Natty make we chant down Vatican